television this day and age to read it.
39-year-old Jelani Blackshear taken into custody after an Alaska to New York manhunt. They say Blackshear, a correction officer, used a shotgun to shoot and kill his 14-year-old daughter and her mom back on April 15th. This after the teen accused him on March 30th of raping her. Prosecutors say hospital DNA tests on the girl were positive for a sex assault. They say he quit his corrections officer job and then went home and shot his daughter and her mom.
Dwayne Bailey is on the run and investigators want to find him before he strikes again. The 31-year-old is accused of a horrific crime, sexually abusing a female over several years, and its victim was a child, who police say would later become pregnant as a result of that abuse.
Police and paramedics rushed to a motel in Inkster last Thursday on a report of an 8-month-old not breathing.
A little girl died from her extensive injuries on Sunday, and now her 22-year-old father is accused of killing her. Let's bring in Mara McDonald. Mara, the injuries that the girl sustained are just horrific.
They're bad, Devin, and that's just for starters here. We're talking about multiple skull fractures, a brain bleed, a retinal hemorrhage, and then there are other injuries that we're not going to get very specific on. Let me explain.
Please stand to your feet.
22-year-old James Saltmarshall spent the majority of his arraignment moaning with his hands covering his mouth.
Count 1, felony murder, homicide.
When paramedics got to the Alpine Motel in Inkster last Thursday, Saltmarshall's 8-month-old baby girl wasn't breathing. He had been left to care for her at the motel while the child's mother was at work. Doctors at Children's Hospital detailed the injuries that killed the little girl for detectives.
They thought the child had skull fractures, brain swelling, and some other bruising.
It was the head injuries that killed her, but doctors also found extensive evidence of sexual assault.
Investigators say Derek Kendall Burris assaulted a girl and got her pregnant at 11 years old. Detectives say she is related to an acquaintance of the suspect, and DNA proves Burris is the father of the now 12-year-old girl's baby.
Years ago, Matthews sexually battered his girlfriend's 10-year-old daughter while living with the family. One night, the victim's mother walked in and caught Matthews with her daughter. Investigators say Matthews panicked and took the victim without her mother's permission to a convenience store. They say he bought bleach and poured the bleach on the victim to destroy any DNA evidence. But it didn't work. On his way out, Matthews shook his attorney's hand and chuckled. That's hard to believe considering the judge had just handed him a life sentence.
Shocking new details tonight about the murder of an 11-month-old Kenosha girl. Her father allegedly told police he intended to kill the child. And the girl's grandfather is just sick about what happened.
Can you do this?
Serenity Rose died a horrible death. Only 11 months old, thrown on a concrete driveway, allegedly by her own father.
I couldn't believe this. It's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. A Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Wearing a suicide vest and bandages on his arms and face, Russell Rose Jr. sat silently in court today until the judge ordered him not to have contact with Serenity's mother.
I do not wish to talk to her or hear her name.
According to the criminal complaint, Rose Jr. had been fighting with Serenity's mother and said it was his intent to kill the girl. Russell Sr. says he is shocked by his son's actions.
Nobody in my family ever killed anybody like this. Nobody in my family ever killed anybody like this. Ever killed anybody like this. Killed anybody like this.
Jobs and Family Services tell us they were tipped off by someone in Texas who saw a video of Kirksey performing a sex act on a 4-year-old. Police arrested her yesterday. They say Kirksey admitted to them she did this.
A Miami mother facing murder charges accused of tying up and killing her own 2 kids.
You're a mother, how do you feel? Like, what is there's a devil in your head? What is there's a devil in your head?
Police arresting 41-year-old Odette Josant overnight on 2 counts of first-degree murder. They say Josant called 911 several times late yesterday, but never said why. Officers eventually responding to her apartment off Northeast 75th Street and 1st Avenue in Little Haiti, where she allegedly told them, quote, "Come get them. I don't want them anymore." Quote, "Come get them. I don't want them anymore."
The defendant is guilty of lewd and lascivious molestation as charged. The defendant is guilty of sexual battery.
Rico Johnson left a Tampa courtroom a convicted sexual predator. A jury found him guilty of raping a minor. Johnson told the jury the young girl came on to him.
The audacity! The real victim should be found not guilty.
Dietrich Gay of Detroit being called a serial child rapist. His victims as young as 3 years old. Police say he'd befriend or date women only to gain access to their children.
It's heart-wrenching. It's sickening. I mean, when you read these reports of these children, these babies being taken advantage of.
5 victims under 15 years old, as young as 3, little girls and little boys allegedly sexually abused by Dietrich Gay.
The state of Michigan versus Dietrich DeMonte Gay.
28-year-old Gay, who has not been cooperative with Detroit police in court last Friday, visibly distraught as a judge handed down his charges.
Boy at the hands of a Fort Hood sergeant. According to his arrest warrant, Sergeant Thomas Thames told police the beating took place because the boys didn't want to work on his ABCs. Police say the footage shows Thames using excessive force, punching the child in the back multiple times. Thames told police he didn't mention the incident to the boy's mother, who was inside the apartment working at the time. He admitted to police that he went too far.
Documents reveal why a child endangerment charge is now manslaughter charge against a mother whose 3-year-old son was shot in the head. Dallas police say LaCravian Washington lied about a road rage incident after she drove Jalexis Washington to a Dallas hospital last month. They say the gun used to kill him was in her car, that she tried to hide that gun, and when she lied to her husband about the road rage incident, she allegedly told him she fired the gun.
This mother screams, heard on surveillance, as her boyfriend, popular Houston car influencer Victor Pyatt, leaves with deputies in handcuffs. He's accused of sexually assaulting her 2-year-old daughter. Picked up his phone, immediately finding a video of Pyatt allegedly sexually assaulting her young daughter. Documents accuse him of intending to promote or sell the video. Pyatt has a large following on social media, where he is known as Candy Red Bread and Candy Red.